But how on earth does that even allowed to happen when replay is being used and it's not one of the criteria where they're actually allowed to review it? How frustrating is that from a fan's perspective? And I understand why Gibby was pissed off too. He should have been. I don't understand why if you have replay, everything's not reviewable. Why would anything not be reviewable? I understand, I guess, judgment calls, and I guess that's what you're talking about when you're talking about foul balls that occur before the bases, first base, third base side, because that's where that ruling comes down on. Even though it's a totally different scenario, because hit by pitches are reviewable. That's not a hit by pitch. He hit it off himself, which I get it. If it's a dribbler and the ball's in the air and it's fielded kind of on the line and it's not black or white, right? Like if a ball lands on the left side or the right side of the foul line, we can say pretty discernibly whether that's a fair ball or a foul ball. So I kind of get the idea behind those calls not being reviewable. But that is, I think that play in particular needs to be looked at in the offseason because it was so egregious. It's so obvious. It's so embarrassing, frankly, not just for the umpires, but for Ryan Howard, who's hitting like 130 against left-handers this season, was so desperate just to get a hit. He started running right away. And he hit himself in the middle of the thigh with a foul ball. Maybe I can fool everybody. Usually, the instinct for Major League Baseball players is to, well, take a second at least, because obviously, I'm not going to get away with this. People saw that I fouled it off the middle of my thigh. But he didn't even take a beat. He started running immediately. You rarely see that in Major League Baseball, but it goes to show you how desperate that guy is to get a base hit. Ends up starting the rally that ends up producing the game-winning run in a 3-2 ball game against the Phillies.
And that's the really frustrating thing to me about baseball, too, is I get that it's the old school, it's the human element, but why do we have to have so much human element now in the game? It's just not necessary. Every umpire has his own strike zone. How many times are we seeing #UmpShow in games? Angel Hernandez, anonymous with a terrible strike zone. It's either a ball or a strike. We have the technology now where it can be a ball or a strike. That was an instance where he clearly hit it off his leg. Even the umpires must have been like, man, we blew this one, but we can't look at it.
Well, again, how the home plate umpire might have missed it, right? Because he's looking at, it's difficult to see. I mean, like, physically, you can't see the front of Ryan Howard's leg if you're behind him. But Dr. Joe West was the third base umpire yesterday. He's the crew chief.
I don't notice that.
Well, I know on the broadcast, Buck and Tabby were saying, well, what's he saying? It looks like he's saying, hey, why don't you just review it then? Why don't you review it? I guess what he was saying was you can't review it, right? Which is crazy talk. But at a certain point, I would have loved for the Blue Jays to go into their, like they do for a reviewable play, go into their replay booth and have whoever's on the bench there that does the replay call out to John Gibbons say, hey, I know we can't review this, we just looked at it. It clearly went off the middle of his thigh. And for John Gibbons in that moment to bring that to the umpires, I wonder if they huddle around and say, hey, like I know we can't review this, but they say I just saw it. And I think he probably did hit it off his leg. And then reverse the call right there. They didn't even huddle, they didn't come together really at all. Like there was ways to avoid the embarrassment of what went down that happened.
And hopefully this is one of those instances where now baseball looks at it and goes, yeah, we need to kind of tweak this system once again. But that's the frustrating thing too, because it just takes a lot of time. But when it's that blatant,
that review would have taken a 30 seconds, 25 seconds.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, you look at the final score, 3-2. You can say, well, that's a loss in the game, losing the game. There was not a single base runner until the ninth inning. Between the fifth and the ninth inning, when Encarnacion's base hit in the ninth inning, there was not a single base runner from the fifth inning on for the Blue Jays. They could not get a base hit to save their lives yesterday against, I guess, a young rookie left-hander who's having a respectable season.